Live? Wave. Are we live?
We're live.
Woo! Guess what today's episode is? It's about hoses. All right. And what am I doing?
Move it down to the next button.
Right there, how's that? Top of the next button. Now it's better. I was too loud. I've never been told I was too loud. Oh, it's noon. It's Friday. So that means it's Festool Friday, but guess what time it is? It is time for Festool Live, and this is episode number 99. Woohoo! We're all excited here. So let's introduce the room so we can get right at it, because I got a lot to deep dive on today. Over here is Big D.
Hey.
All right. On the camera is Chris, the unit Cybert. Over here, check it out. Sparky is actually up and about. Oh, good job, Sparky. Good job. Hey, I'll shake for that treat. All right. And right here is Midi. She's on the whiteboard. We also have online today, we have Garrett Sato. He'll be answering all your questions, and he will reference every single part number I call out. All right. Garrett's in the other room. He already hates me. Okay. I do have an announcement or two, because I want to get you on board. Because we have a little bit of a time change. Not this week, episode 99, nor episode 100. We will be here in Indiana. But the following week, for episode 101, we will be in Portland, Oregon, at Woodcrafters. And we're gonna, oh my God, we are so excited to be out there. But here's the skinny on this. We usually we always go live at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. But that's a 3-hour time difference because they're on Pacific Standard Time. So what we do is we kind of split the difference. We're going to be live out there, so if you plan to attend, be there early because we go live at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So let's take that to everybody else out there. If you want to be with us live online, that will be 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Did I get that right? Because it's a 3-hour time? Holy moly, man. I'm getting better at this math every single episode. Okay, that's a big one. I got a lot planned for out in Portland, Oregon. Everybody, please come meet us. We're just, every time we go out on the road, we just meet the greatest people. In fact, this week, I was up in Chicago, and I want to call out Kenneth because he came up to me on Tuesday. We had about 60 people in the room while I was doing demos at JC Lick, and Kenneth came up to me, and he looked at me and goes, "Where's Minnie and Sparky?" I came home, Kenneth, and I told Minnie about it. Okay. And I'll announce it again next week so we get all our times set. Okay, good. So, I want to show you something. I learned a lot this week. I learned a lot at the beginning of the week. I learned a lot during the week, because here's our catalog here in North America, okay? And we have a whole page on hoses. And I remember when we used to have 2 whole pages on hoses. So what I want to do today is as simple as I can. I want to cover some top questions we have about the dust extraction hoses that we have. CT stands for Clean Tech, but I want to go over the CT hoses because we've pared a lot away, but we've also innovated the hose over the years. And I want to show you some of the older things and hiccups we've had over the years and some of the great new innovations we've had with the hoses. I'm going to go with the difference between the different diameters. I'm going to go with the different lengths. And I totally understand sometimes when you open up a catalog and look online how it can be a little confusing. Hopefully I can eliminate some of the confusion, hopefully not create more, okay? But I also want to make sure you understand how much engineering goes into the hoses and how we've innovated them over the years. Okay, so I am going to go, and I'm going to try to go in an orderly fashion, but there's so much to talk about. I have notes back here that I want to make sure I cover certain topics that are very important. Okay, so let's start over here. This is your hose that comes with your, okay, it's a 27 to 32 millimeter. It's called out. It's a 3.5 meter long, so that's roughly 11 feet long, a little bit more. All right, it comes with, and hear me out on this, the new Midi eye, the new mini eye, the 26, 36, and CT 48. Okay, it's always been this hose, the 27, but now it's 27 to 32. That helps with the airflow. It's a lot smoother. Now, here's can be a little confusing because I mentioned Midi eye and mini eye. It is a straight connection. Prior to the beginning of 2019, we manufactured the Mini and Midi. And when you look in the catalog or online, you'll see, and make sure if you have one of those, make sure you get the one that calls it out, because this is the right angle and that's how it fits in there. The straight will not fit. So that's why we will always have this. It's a right angle attachment to fit nice and easy in those Midis and Minis prior to 2019 or January 2019. Okay, so that eliminates quite a bit right there. Whew. Now, we have different diameters. Okay, I'm kind of skipping around here, but this is important, and different lengths. We have a 27 millimeter to 32 and a 36 millimeter. And everybody goes, what's the difference? It's not 9. Okay, it's a huge difference in airflow, and that's why we have that. And as I go through this, I'm just going to contradict myself a few times, but I'm going to take a 36 millimeter that I have right here, okay, called out, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I have a 27 millimeter. So I'll bring it right here so you can see this. Now, I'm going to plug in the 27 millimeter. And I have to, the way I'm going to use this or show you and why we have it is, you see this right here? This is one of the ports for our routers. This is for the 1400. And there's two reasons we have this. If we look on the 27 millimeter, that comes with all the dust extractors. Okay? The 27 fits in. Okay, there's actually now on the hose, you'll see the arrows line up, and I could take that and twist it and lock it on. It's a lock-on feature. You'll also see these nodes on the outside. That's for the 36 millimeter. What happens when you're using like a 1400 or 2200, and now the new OF 1010, they all have a port similar to this. But as I'm routing something, and you know this by using a router, I have this, as I'm using it, you may see how it's choked down in here. See how it's a little bit less? What happens is a splinter catches in there and clogs. So to prevent clogging, and this is one of the things I love about Festool engineering, is you don't need any duct tape. Okay? If you see a port like this, whether on one of our routers, one of our saws, it actually locks on like this, but the 36 millimeter goes on the outside. Always remember, 27 in, 36 out. No duct tape for you. Good. So it prevents choking down in case you get a splinter in there, and actually it prevents clogging. Now, is there a significant difference? I think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our turbo head like this, and I'm just going to open it up so you can see right here. You got it, Big D? It's air driven, okay? And what happens as the air is being pulled across this turbine, okay, it's moving with a little belt here, these tines. In other words, it's a carpet beater. So I'm going to put this back in, and I'm going to turn on my CT. Okay, and hopefully we got sound on this so you can hear the difference. Okay, I'll put it up here. You hear the difference? Okay, good. So what's happening? You hear that whir? This is with a 27 millimeter hose. I'm going to turn it off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the 36 millimeter hose, and just like this, hopefully I get them. Woo! See the hot reflexes, baby. Cat-like reflexes, as Boogs used to say. I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to turn it on. Okay? The air's all the way up, but watch and listen. So you can hear that. That brings a lot more air through, so it's more efficient. Okay? So when you see a port like that, whether it's on a track saw, a router, the Capex, the 36 millimeter creates a lot more airflow back to the CT dust extractor. Hopefully that came across clear. Now, a lot of the times, a lot of folks over the years have said, and in fact at Festool we finally said it's about time when this came out, because when the CT48 AutoClean came out, it comes with this hose, and it's a little bit different, okay? This hose is a 3.5 meter, almost 11 foot, but check it out. You see where it says, I labeled this 32 to 36. This is conical hose, so it's actually better airflow, and this comes with the CT48 AutoClean. This is important, okay? But it also came with this, because this won't fit, and I'm gonna run kind of crazy over here to grab this. I wanna grab a sander right here. So what if I'm using this cordless sander, ETS 125 EC, okay, cordless, with a dust extraction, right? The 36 won't fit. But now what we can do is with this adapter, we can take that and hook it. So the CT48 AutoClean is one of those dust extractors we say it's the end-all, be-all. The AutoClean, you can hook up a Planex. Everything ends in X. But this is the confusing part. Oh, and this is one of the things I clarified up in Chicago this week. Here's the Planex 2.0, okay? Here's the connection port, right? There's a lock-on feature, but the CT48 AutoClean doesn't lock on. That doesn't lock on. So it'll fall off when you're sanding with this. You need the Planex hose. The Planex hose comes with the CT36 AutoClean. Hopefully that clears some of the confusion, because guess what? It comes with this end right here, and you'll see it's got this little mechanical end like this, and when I put it on the Planex 2.0 or the Planex EZ, which also has a lock-on feature, it actually locks and will not fall off when you're sanding high up on the wall or on a ceiling. So this is still anti-static, but this is the only one that has a cable in it. And the reason it has a cable is so it doesn't degrade when those contractors are like this and they're going for a rest and pinching it. So hopefully that made some sense, and that is why we always package our Planexes when we have certain package deals with the CT36 AutoClean. But you can buy this hose for your CT48 AutoClean. And always remember, whenever you're using a Planex, make sure the dust extractor you're working with the Planex, is the AutoClean version, because that's the only one that actually keeps up with the Planex, because it is a drywall sanding monster. It's unbelievable. I sanded so much drywall this week. It was so much fun. Was I supposed to say fun when I say sanding drywall? I actually love it. It's amazing how well it works. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna look at my notes really quick, Chris. Okay, okay, you ready? If you look online and you look in the catalogs, you're going to see the hoses I talked about, especially the 36 and the 27. There's different lengths, okay? On the 27 millimeter, watch out. Oh, that's one of those things. I always get these things tied up. Big D, come over here. On the 27 to 32 millimeter, there is a 5 meter version. Okay, look how long this is. Does anybody know how long 5 meters is? 16 plus feet. Okay, so there you go. That's a long hose, isn't it? So let's take this over here and set it over here, Big D. There's one available in 36 meter, that's 5 meter. But the one that's the 36 millimeter hose is available in 5 meter, which is 16, around 16, a little over 16 feet long. Now, in that 36 millimeter hose, there's one available, and you have seen it, because that's the one I have on every Festool Live. It's hooked up to the K-Pex. I've used it when I use the track saw. It's actually 22 feet. Check the length of this. Make sure I grab the right one, Big D. Here you go. And look at the length of that one. Okay, this is 22 and a little bit. And this is a long hose. Yeah, we're not going to play jump rope with it, but man, look at that, huh? So someone might say, and this is where I don't want to get confusing. Thanks, Big D. See, he's better. He's an all-around utility player today. Okay. This has actually been a lot of fun this week, setting this up. Now, I am going to talk about one more thing, and it led to the length of hose. Somebody out there scratching their head going, I thought I could connect hoses. And this is such an innovative thing, and this is why I love working for Festool, because we don't sit back and say, hey, we got a great hose, or we got a great track saw, or we got a great router. We're always innovating. We're always making stuff better. And it's because of some of the things that you have gone through and have given us input. Hear me out. Okay, so check this out, because I'm going to tell you what, as a trainer, this has been frustrating over the years. I've done several videos on this. I've done PDFs, internal, external for people. I think it was in 2007 I did my first one for Inside Sales for Julie, because she was confused, because you guys were really confused. Here's what I'm talking about. You can connect hoses. So we're going to talk more about innovation. These are the old hoses. And you probably may have some of these. They're still good. They're anti-static. All the green hoses that we have in here, including this black one right here, are anti-static hoses. What's that mean to you? Anti-static means you won't have any dust clog on the outside, less dust clogging on the inside because it doesn't adhere to it because of static charge, and also less potential for getting a static charge in arid environments. But it's all grounded right here on the CT dust extractor. There is a little tab in here. It's steel, okay, and it's grounded right in here. And when you go home today, whether it was a 22, 33, or all the ones I've talked about, there is a little grounding tab in there. So anti-static is huge, right? But one of the things, and these were anti-static as well, there was a catching point on it, wasn't there? It would catch on your rail, it would catch on your MFT. That's why we innovated the hose like this. It's nice and smooth, but it's also wicked flexible. So hopefully you've upgraded. We've had that innovation out for about 4 or 5 years. Maybe I'm pushing it, maybe 3 or 4 years. I've lost track of time, right? But we've always had a 36 and 27. So people would come in and say, hey, I need to connect hoses. So they look at a catalog and go, give me a hose connector. Okay, so I'm going to take this, look. And where this fits is pretty easy. This is the vac end, and you got to connect them. It doesn't work. Okay, even with the connector, look, it doesn't connect. I was frustrated. When I first saw that, I said, there's something wrong, I got the wrong hose connector. So here's your 36, and this is the part that goes in your dust extraction, right? Guess what? If you look at it, that's what you got to connect, right? But this end doesn't go in the dust extractor. So what you have to do is purchase for the right diameter hose what was known as a rotating adapter. I'm going to leave this on my 27. We have them for 27s and 36s. Okay? So I'm going to take the tool end off, and you have to use a Festool screwdriver for this. But you're going to see these little tabs. Chris, come in here so we can get this. You press it in like this. I usually turn it like this to release it. I press it like this. I turn it to release it. Okay? This screws on. It comes with one of these and one of these little latches, but these are reverse thread. Okay? So you take it like this, you put it on, and then you buy a rotating adapter, and this slips on. So now you have two hose ends, and when you get proficient at this, maybe that took 30 seconds, right? But that's 30 seconds I don't want to waste, but guess what? That's how you connect hoses. And remember, when you are connecting hoses at length, always put the larger diameter toward the vac and your smaller diameter toward the tool. Hopefully that makes sense. Or you could go out and buy a 22, a little over 22 foot, 7 meter hose. But think about it, maybe you have a 27 millimeter and you upgrade to the new 27 millimeter. Buy a rotating adapter for the old 27 millimeter. There's one unfortunate thing when you do that. You have choke down points at those connections. Aha! But here's the innovative thing. Woo! Let's look inside that. Okay, I don't like wasting time, and I think this is one of the most innovative things we've done over time, because guess what? We listened. See the inside? I need to put a 36 millimeter. Okay, it goes right on the outside of that and locks together. How easy is that? So I could take that 32 or 36 and hook it in to the dust extractor, and I have a very long, and now I have a 22 footer, right? I have 11 and 11. 3.5, 3.5. It's amazing how you can connect hoses. Just always, always remember, put the larger diameter back toward that. Or, I could take my old 27 now. I don't have to put a rotating adapter. I can have the 27 in, 27, and I got it. Hopefully that makes sense. Or I could take my old 36 millimeter with the hose or the tool connection on there and go for it. So don't throw away those old hoses, just get a new one because of that end. Whew. Hopefully that made all kinds of sense. Now, there's one more diameter hose that comes with the boom arm. It's a connection hose, okay? It looks like this. I grabbed this out of a boom arm, but it also, there's a 50 millimeter. I believe it comes with one like this length that comes with the new. It's a dust extraction set. We call it the industrial. It comes with a hose connector, but you can use this, okay, at the vac and connect them. So hopefully all this made sense, but a lot of you don't know this. This 50 millimeter is a lot of airflow in here, and at home I hook it up to some of my non-Festool stationary machinery, and I have a length that's 4 meter long, and that is available in 50 millimeter, and 4 millimeters roughly a little over 12 foot, maybe almost 13 foot. Oh, man. So as I go through this, I'm just going to look around the room. Oh, duh. There's another hose out there. It's in the catalog, and it has the right angle, but it's a little bit shorter. And it goes with the CT sys, and I believe this is almost, and it has a right angle, but it's shorter, and this here has the right angle, so it works with the CT sys. That's this unit here. I've covered this before. It's a little under 10 foot. So that is still available. And this is a straight, as we look at this is not the 27 to 32. This is the straight 27 right there. Okay, I'm looking around to make sure I've covered everything. I believe I have. Hopefully, I've opened a few eyes to some of the different hoses and diameters we've had. Just remember, you consult the website, but also consult our catalog. It's in there. This hose is not amongst all the other hoses. It is in the Planex section. That's something I thought I was confused on, so then I had to go reference this. But always remember, this end here needs to, this whole hose with the steel cable needs to go with the Planex. 2.0 and Planex Easy. And yes, it works with older Planex. And don't forget, the plural of Planex is plain I. Okay, good. You didn't know that, did you, Minnie?
I did not.
Woohoo! Wow. So, you know what was really fun about this week preparing this? Is I hadn't talked about dust extraction hose for quite a few years, and I kind of warmed up in Chicago with my new friends up at JC Lick, and now it really made me investigate how much we've innovated the hoses over the years. So, with saying that, now comes my favorite time. Wow, Minnie, you have written down a lot.
There's a lot of people.
Wow. Okay, so I want to thank those people who came out to say hi, the ones I remember. But you know why I'm saying that? Because, hey, that's Matt from Tinley Park, Illinois. Oh my God, it was so nice meeting you. Jerry, it was great meeting you as well. Thank you for coming by. Kenneth, thank you for coming by. Hopefully, and I know I am, I'm probably forgetting people, but Peter from Crystal Lake was there. Thank you so much for coming to see us. Okay, here we go. Joe from Waseca, Illinois. Hey, guys, guess what I found out? There's the S on Illinois is not pronounced with an S.
No.
It's not Illinois.
Are you sure?
No, it's Illinois. Okay. All right. Andy G. from Enfield, Connecticut. Rob, you're there, brother, from Minson, New Jersey. Mac S. from Woodcraft, Springfield, Virginia. Michelle from Paris, France. Larry C. Woo! From Sun City, West Arizona. Great to see you again. Wake Forest, North Carolina. Gary from BWTB. Minnie, what's BWTB?
I gotta scroll way back, but I believe it's where he works.
Hey, Gary from BWTB.
No, Beers with the...
Oh, Gary! Furnace from Beers with the Boys. Good to see you, Gary. Ian from East Yorkshire. George from Naples, Florida. Dawn from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mike M. from Austin, Texas. Thank you, Mike. Chris from Malta. How are you, Chris? How's the weather? Dale from Swaddlincote, England, the Netherlands. Monty from Canton, Connecticut. USTF. Oh, United States Tool and Fastener. Woohoo! All right, Oliver from Southern California. Paul from Reading, Berkshire, England. Jason from Fenton, Michigan. Hey, Des, happy birthday from Harrogate, England. Lucerne, Switzerland. Michael from Edmonton, Alberta. Kurt from Surin, Wisconsin. Yizu from Paramaribo, Suriname. Jeff from Clarksburg, Maryland. Springfield, Oregon. Hey, how far is that from Portland?
Don't know.
Don't know. Hopefully we see ya. Tom and Kelly from Eatonton, Georgia. Steve from Bermuda. Rodrigo from Sydney, Australia. Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey. Doug from, no, Douglasville, Georgia, not Doug. Okay, never mind. Jim from Imlay City, Michigan. Bozeman, Montana. Dan from Kingman, Arizona. Rob S. from Devon, England. Denver, Colorado. Eden, New York. Oliver. Maria. No, Oliver from Marin, French Alps. Minnie, turn that puppy around. Whew. I am. Okay. Iowa. David from Magnayen-Vexin, France. How'd you say that, Minnie?
Maggie in Vexin.
I said it right.
I have no idea.
Mike from Cary, Illinois. Bravi Kitchens. Woohoo! I hung out with this guy. He's awesome in Calgary, Alberta when I was on the road show. Man, you know how to build kitchens, brother. Ron from Harlem, Georgia. Ruff from Chester. Dave from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Warren from Batavia, Ohio. Norman from Los Angeles, Austria. Folsom, California. Mark from Newark, Ohio. Zanesville, Ohio. Tom from Morehead City. Pine Brook, New Jersey. Toledo, Ohio. Willie, the Spactrician. Leo from Holland. Cumming, Georgia. That was almost, are we ready to rumble? Dan from Whitestone, New York. Gerald from China, PRC, wicked. That is awesome. Mike from Iowa, Faroes Island. Tom from Patton, PA, Bloomington. Is that Illinois or
Yeah.
Indiana?
That's our friend Jeff.
From Indiana?
Indiana.
Indiana, Bloomington. Blake Weber from Novato, California. Mike C. from Winchester, Virginia. Jed from the Big Easy, baby. We all know where that is. That's New Orleans. Grand Rapids, Michigan. John from Naperville, Illinois. Huntington, Devon, England. Jurgen from Netherlands. Hey, that's a two-pack from the Netherlands. Greenwich, London. Brian from the Bahamas. Mr. St. John Moss, Hawaii. Michael from Queen Creek, Arizona. Warped Woodsman from Portland, Oregon. Man, you better be there, dude. Lowell, Massachusetts. Cincy, Ohio, or Cincinnati. Bjorg from Sweden. Peter from Portsmouth, Rhode Island. Johnny from Memphis, Tennessee. Oronzo from Mississauga, Ontario. And Terry from Augusta, Georgia, home of the Masters. Woo! Okay. Hey, everybody. It's done. We did it. A half hour. Unbelievable.
I even.
Guys, next week is episode number 100. We are so, can you believe it?
I can't. It's amazing.
I can't believe it. Time flies, huh, Chris? Big D, we did it.
That's crazy.
Well, we got to show up next week. Okay, hey, and you know why? Because of you. And I can't be more sincere on this. I can't believe we're going to be doing episode 100 next week. We love you. Thank you. When we started, we had, 45 people waiting? We're always blown away of the community that you guys are and gals are. So thank you so much from the bottom of all our hearts here at Festool Live. Garrett, thank you for hanging with us today. We really appreciate it. It's Friday afternoon, right? Because past 12 is afternoon, right? Hey, everybody, have a wicked good weekend. I'm going for wings with Garrett for lunch because Seji like wingies. And Sparky, you want some wings? No. Okay, everybody, we love you. We'll see you next week. Get ready for episode 100. You never know who might show up. We'll see you then. Woo! It's a wrap, baby. I'm done.